Okay, so this video is going to be on gemstones and how gemstones might help in Vedic astrology, um, especially contracting the energies of the planets, because in Vedic astrology, what it separates from any other kind of ancient astrology or modern astrology out there is that it has remedies. So if a certain method of astrology, says this is how your life is going to be because your sun is placed in the fourth house, well, that's it. A Western astrologer will just pretty much tell you that, okay, your sun is in the fourth house, so things may not be too well in your home because it's delineated, but try your best to cooperate with everybody in your home. And usually that doesn't work because sun, the planet, is a lot more powerful than human and their minds. So as much as you want to try to work things out in the family because of this alignment, the sun is going to find ways to create problems, and that's his job. That's the energy that is alive in your life. The sun is not out there to get you. It's just the energy that is around you, the aura, the planetary aura that's around you since birth is what's causing this problem. So a Western astrologer will just use psychology to help you out in this matter, versus in a Vedic astrologer, or Jyotish, I like calling it, will recommend you either mantras, which are sacred words, will recommend you certain donations on a certain day at a certain time, or if a person is not able to do any of that, then he would recommend a gemstone. Okay, now, if you are watching this and you are Indian and you have been through this whole, process of getting a gemstone, then you might know what I'm going to talk about here. But mainly in Vedic astrology, what they do is, if you go to an astrologer, 95%, or I would say 99% of the astrologers out there will recommend you to wear gemstones of the planets who are ruling your ascendant, which is the first house, fifth house, and the planets that are ruling the ninth house. So, for example, let's say if you're a Taurus ascendant, and Taurus is the first house, and your fifth house then will be ruled by Mercury, which is the sign of Virgo, and the ninth house, which is going to be ruled by Capricorn, ruled by Saturn. So a basic astrologer, who are kind of a book read astrologer, will just say, okay, well, I think you should wear diamond, emerald, and blue sapphire to bring good luck in your life. And why I said those gemstones? Because diamond rules, Venus is ruled by diamond, Mercury is ruled by emerald, and blue sapphire is ruled by Saturn. And these three houses are ruling these three main houses that the astrologers recommend you these gemstones for. But what is wrong with that picture? The biggest thing that's wrong with that picture is what if none of these planets are in good position? Okay, what if none of them are in good position? Are you still going to recommend these gemstones to your client? Most will do, because most will think, well, it is ruling the most important aspect of their life, which is themselves, their children, education, and their fortune. So either way, it's going to help them. It doesn't work that way. And let me give you another example. In Cancer ascendant, in Cancer ascendant, Saturn is supposed to rule the most dreadful houses, which is the 7th house and the 8th house, which is not considered aspirations. And according to basic, or the pop culture astrology, I would call, that if you're a Cancer ascendant, you should never wear blue sapphire, where there cannot be any wrong, in telling you this, because of the fact that what if most of your planets are bad? and you're a Cancer ascendant, but Saturn is positioned in a good house with a good degree, and your planetary period of Saturn is going, are you still going to not recommend that stone? Most will say no. It's gonna cause harm, and the reason why they will say this is that they do not know the importance of the constellation this Saturn is sitting in. Not the sign. Don't mistake that. No. So let's say Saturn is sitting in the third house for Cancer ascendant, which is the sign of Virgo. And as any astrologer will look at it and say, well, the Saturn is in good position because it's in the third house, and Saturn does good in the third house. It's one of his best places. But it's in for Cancer ascendant, and so I don't think that's a good planet for you. What they don't see is that what constellation it's sitting is. It's called a nakshatra. In Vedic astrology, it's called a nakshatra. You have to look at what nakshatra Saturn is sitting in, and you got to look at the degrees of that nakshatra, and you want to see if the Saturn is in the cusp of changing from one nakshatra to the other, meaning one constellation to the other. There are 27 constellations in the sky, and I'm not talking about the 12 zodiac sign at all at this moment. So let's say if you want to improve, let's say you want to get a house, okay, and a Western astrologer said, well, your time is not there right now to get the house, or you will not get the house. But a Vedic astrologer says, yeah, you will get the house, but I cannot, I don't see a solution right now because the houses that are ruling the foundation of you to get a house, those are ruled by your enemy planets to your ascendant. So let's say if you're a Cancer ascendant and you want to get a house, the houses that rule the fact that you will get a house or you won't get a house is the house 4, 11, and 12. 4 represents your ground, your home, your land. So obviously that becomes a pioneer in getting the house. Second is the 11th house. 11th house is a house of hopes and dreams. It's the house that gives you your wishes, what you want. So what do you want at that particular time? You want a house. Now, is the 11th house fulfilling that destiny, that wish, that hope that you have to get a house? And then you want to look at the 12th house, which not too many people will tell you, because 12th house is a house of expenditure, house of spending. So let's say if you're a frugal person, you're saving all the time, and it's very hard for you to spend any kind of money on anything, and yet here you're going to buy and make the biggest expense of your life, which is to invest in a house. How will you do that? Okay, a good astrologer would recommend this Cancer ascendant person to wear a diamond and an emerald. Why diamond and emerald? Because for Cancer ascendant, 4th and 11th house is ruled by Venus, which is the sign of Libra and Taurus, and the 12th house is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is gemstone is emerald. So wearing a diamond and an emerald will enable you to first of all have your hopes and wishes come true, give more power to your 4th house, which is home, and give you the ability to spend money. Because if you want to buy a house, you're going to have to give a down payment. It's not the subprime mortgage mess anymore. You're going to now banks are looking for minimum 20, where it used to be 10 or 15. Now they're looking for 20 and 40% down. So you better spend some money, and you better have that money to get the house. So this is where this factor comes in, that depending upon what you want to do, that's how you should be wearing your gemstone, not the ascendant and the 5th and the 9th house. What if those houses are not doing anything for you? What if the planets sitting on those houses are damaging you more than helping you? What if they're neutral to you? What if doing anything to them will not do anything? Are you still going to wear those stones? If you are naive and if you are ignorant and uneducated in this field of astrology, then yeah, of course you will wear it, and I've done that. But then I've run into a lot of people who knew what they were talking about, who proved a lot of things to me. And so, as an example, I am a Cancer ascendant. Okay? And here, this is a diamond. I don't know if you can see it clearly, but it's a diamond. I got it from India. It's a 1.2 carat diamond. And Venus is supposed to be harmful for my ascendant because it's ruling it's called Kendra house in Vedic astrology. Kendra and Upachya. Upachya means a house that grows. So in Cancer ascendant, whenever something rules the 11th house and the Kendra houses, the inner house, it's supposed, apparently they have created some vocabulary that it is a bad luck house, and that planet is bad luck for you. So you should never wear a diamond. And obviously they were wrong, because this diamond has helped me, and it kind of proved those people absolutely wrong, who said not to wear these, who told me otherwise, who told me to wear a ruby, where the sun is delineated in the 4th house for me, and they told me to wear a ruby, and it just didn't do anything for me. It didn't do anything good, it didn't do anything bad, but it was an absolute waste of money and time. So this is how you want to look at gemstones. This is how you want to wear gemstones. And also, like I gave you the example of buying a house, don't just go on what I'm saying and buy a diamond and emeralds just because you're Cancer ascendant and you want to get a house. No, you want to look at the position of those two planets as well. You want to look at the position of Venus and Mercury. You want to see what houses they're sitting in, what signs they're sitting in, what constellation, aka nakshatra, they're sitting in, and what degree they're sitting in. Okay? You want to look at what is it a strong degree? Is it a weak degree of the nakshatra? Is it an old age for the planet when they're switching from one nakshatra to the other, not just one house to the other, one sign to the other? All of these things have to take into account. But if they're in a good position or an okay position, you should wear a gemstone of those houses. 12th house is known as the evil house, and people say, "Oh, never wear a gemstone of 12th house because it's going to create losses in your life." What they don't understand is not losses. It's not losses that the 12th house represents. 12th house represents expenditure. There's a big difference. Losses is something like, if here's my wallet, I would lose that if I wore an emerald. That's a loss. Expenditure, wearing the emerald, what it'll do, it'll help me or make me open this wallet, take out my credit card and spend money on it. It'll give me the impulses to spend money lavishly. That's what 12th house does. 12th house is also the house of dreams and spirituality. It's also the house of mysticism. So if you have certain planets here, it's gonna give you a lot of interest in mysticism, and obviously, I have the strongest planet there, so my interest in mysticism and all sorts of magic and theologies, it's been there since birth, but it kind of ignited after a certain age, which it does.